Unfortunately, no, the title is not clickbait. And it's not the first time I've seen this, and probably will not be the last. I could probably highlight a Beetles injury every single day and have enough content for the rest of my life, because that is how abundant they are. But y'all want to keep talking about it's all just user error. So here is the story of a licensed cosmetologist who used the Beetles HEMA-free. This person seemed to have used it directly on their natural nail. I used a sheer nude on a soft gel tip, and still I reacted. Because again, we have no idea what is actually in this stuff, because the SDSs are allegedly fabricated and they do not match the back of the bottles at all. Let's dive in. Hi besties, if you're new here, my name is Ren, and I developed an allergy to HEMA, HEA, HPMA, and acrylomorpholine back in 2024, and since then I have done obsessive levels of research and tested over 20 brands on myself to find things that I could still use with an acrylate allergy, and I share all of that knowledge with you guys for free 99. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell icon, do all the engagement things because it helps me out tremendously. All right, let's get into it. There is a lot to dissect.
I have a very important PSA to share about a gel nail polish that sent my sister to the ER. And after looking at this for about 5 seconds on the internet and TikTok, I could see she is not the only person that has experienced this. So do not use the Beetle gel nail.
No, she is not.
Nail polish. So I will put a disclaimer on here that she has used, and I think I have a top coat I put on like after I do chrome and it comes off or something. She has used the base coat and the top coat from the Beetles brand before, but this was the first time she has ever used this color, this type. The gel nail polish is actually the colored polish. So Tuesday night, she did her nails, she painted her nails. My sister has done this forever. She went to Aveda. She is trained in aesthetics and hair. You know, she's not like just buying this stuff and, you know, let's see what happens. So Tuesday night, she does her nails. Wednesday, she wakes up and her fingers hurt. Now, if any of you have done your nails before, you've, I'm sure, experienced that feeling where they maybe went too hard when they're taking off. I do dip. I have had this happen to me, and I've had pain down my hands, and I quit going to...
Yeah, bestie, that's not normal.
Sorry, back to my sister. Wednesday morning, her nails start to hurt really bad. As the day progresses, she is sending messages to my mother and I. She is in excruciating pain, and it was 3 of them, I believe these 3, that were the most painful for her. So the pain proceeded to get worse, but she had been trying to get this off. Like, that was her first thing she knew she needed to do, was to get this gel polish off. I ended up going over and helping her get the polish off because she was in so much pain and couldn't move her hands, and it took a few hours to get this off as much as
I don't think people realize how painful this actually is, and that you literally lose function of your hands for multiple days. My last bad reaction was back in, I want to say it was September or August of last year. And it was the one where my sidewalls were literally separating from my nail bed, and it was oozing and bleeding. And during that time, like, my hands hurt so much that I couldn't touch anything. I couldn't do anything. You literally become disabled for a few days until this reaction starts to subside. And again, I don't think people understand like the severity of that.
So after that, the pain is only worse. So we went to the emergency room. So here's my sister laying in pain. She truly said this is the worst pain she's ever felt in her life. And she's had 2 children. She's been through a lot of things. You can kind of see her hand.
Yikes. Yeah. I can relate. I don't think it's ever been that bad where I would say it's worse than childbirth, because I've been through both. But it is really excruciating.
But really, like, the swelling and just horror of it. Okay, so we're in the emergency room. So the doctor came in and he said, this is interesting. I haven't heard of this. It looks like obviously you're having some sort of reaction to it, but I would like to check with poison control, because when things like this come up, let's just see if they know anything. So he goes to do that. The nurses come in. They're lovely. The doctor comes back and he goes, okay, I have heard back from poison control, and they have actually heard about this multiple times from this same brand, the Beetle brand.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all catch that? Poison Control has received multiple reports of this happening with Beetles. This has become so widespread that when you go to the ER for it, a lot of doctors already know what's wrong. I actually just saw a video today of a doctor just kind of poking fun at when she tells people that their dermatitis is being caused by their gel polish, and they're like, no, it's not. This has become such a huge issue that although a lot of like primary care doctors and even some dermatologists are still not very well versed in it, when you go to the ER, many doctors do know to tell you that's probably what's causing it.
So this is a known issue, and basically they put a lidocaine patch on her, gave her a steroid cream, and sent her on her way.
Yeah, so unfortunately, that's another thing that I don't think people realize is that there's literally nothing you can do about it. Once the reaction has started, and obviously remove the gel, that's the first step, but a lot of the times it doesn't matter. Once you've been exposed, once the reaction has started, there is nothing you can do to stop it. And honestly, knowing that is sometimes like psychologically worse than the pain itself because you know it's coming and you know there's nothing you can do to stop it, and the ER can't do anything either. So it's not like you can just go and be like, oh my God, it hurts so bad, please help me. There is nothing they can do to help you other than give you a steroid cream and send you on your way. They'll just tell you to, take some ibuprofen and hang in there for the next few days because they're going to be rough.
The impacts of this, though, is she missed yesterday at work. She's missing today, Thursday, Friday. Today's Friday. And this is like a very much longer story with her job, but like this could literally end up costing her her job. She also sent me this morning. Now this is what her hands look like. It's a little gross, but you'll see. I don't know why I'm flashing like that. So now the bruising has started. When I looked this up, people were saying it's bruising, it's blisters, their hands are so swollen, the pain, and the doctor said we just need to keep an eye on this, but unfortunately this is not going to be a quick healing process. Here's another one, her thumb. So the bruising has set in, and
yeah, so that looks like chemical burns. Ouch. Again, folks, this is not a user error thing. We have a licensed cosmetologist that, per her own sister, has been doing this for many years, knows what she's doing. This isn't just some DIYer playing around with gels. And this is their HEMA-free version.
You can see how swollen her hands are still too. So this again is my very long-winded PSA.
Yeah, so that's another thing that doesn't really get talked about enough is the repercussions of what happens when you do react. Because honestly, thank goodness for voice to text, because that is how I've had to get through my job when I've had reactions. When you work in an industry where you need to be using your hands, you are going to have to miss work for this. Like there is no way you can use your hands extensively or really much at all when you are flaring up.
Okay, do not use the Beetle gel. It looks like I'm having trouble finding like actual stuff, but like people are talking about class action lawsuits against them. And I want to warn you too, these have that, like, I might say it wrong, I'm sorry, but like the HEMA free, they have blasted this all over their nail polish. So I think that's one thing people are looking for to make sure that they're okay and they're using like,
yeah, so it goes back to their shady advertising, as they always do. They advertise it as skin safe, HEMA free, but then when you look at the back of the bottle, they say we don't intentionally add HEMA. Unfortunately though, bestie, no, there is no class action lawsuit or even talks of one. And I've talked about this before. It's really, really difficult to sue an overseas corporation. This is pretty much a ghost company. When I looked up their new address from their updated SDSs, it's literally like a Regis office. If you guys don't know what that is, it's where you just go. If you need an address, you just don't want people knowing like your home address, but you don't actually need an office. You can rent a space or an address from one of these companies and have all your mail and stuff sent there, but it's not an actual business location, if that makes sense. So these people basically don't exist, is what I'm saying. And so they would be incredibly difficult to sue. Not to mention they're going to come back with the argument of, well, were you using our closed system? Did you use our base coat? Did you use our top coat? Did you use our lamps? And yada, 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 and every which way to discredit and make it user error. Plus, you guys are really helping them make their case because some of y'all are acting like your Beatles defense attorneys on here. Because of course, what was the first comment? The first comment on this video: I've been using Beetles for months at home and never had issues. Y'all really need to stop this. You really do. Like, why? What do you get out of that? Like, I need to know if y'all are going on the comment sections of lung cancer patients and be like, well, I smoked 15 years and I'm totally fine. So seriously, it's ridiculous. Like, what do y'all get out of this? Like, every single time somebody's commenting about being hurt by Beetles, it's, well, I've been using it for X. Stop, just stop. No one cares. No one cares. Okay. Anyway, that is that for that. I did comment on this video and the sister did see it and she is following me now. Thank you, bestie. Welcome. And I hope I can help you out. I know that it feels like the end of the world right now, believe me, because I've been there, but it will get better and there are still plenty of things I can use as always. And as I commented here, my DMs are open. So I would love to help you out with whatever you need. But I'm so sorry that this happened to you too. And this is exactly why I make content and why I keep talking about this. And I'm never going to shut up about this because people continue to be severely hurt by this stuff. And y'all just keep brushing it off like it's some joke. Like we're just fear mongering. Like, ha ha ha, I've used it for 20 years and I'm totally fine. Like, enough. I don't understand like what more I need to prove that it really is a brand problem. Allegedly. All right, besties, that was all for this one. This was a really, really important video. The second I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to sit down and talk about this because, again, this isn't even the first one and probably, unfortunately, will not be the last. This is going to keep happening. And the only thing we can do about it is speak with our wallets. At some point, Beetles has to realize like, hey, we're losing enough money here that we actually have to make a legitimate change. And no, fabricating a bunch of SDSs is not actually a change, or rebranding and calling it the Pro line and not having an SDS for your Pro line, also not an actual change. But anyway, I digress. As always, if you aren't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of my future videos. And now I will be going on my much needed vacation, but I had to talk about this first because what the helly. Thanks for hanging out with me and I will see you in the next one.